Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Fatubaji Sise. I am here again today to talk to you about female genital mutilation or FGM. Today my intention is to give a brief summary about some of the impacts of FGM, and if I have time I will respond to some of the questions and comments raised in my previous video. So obviously FGM involves some sort of cutting and either partial removal or total removal of the female genitalia, as discussed in the last video. So what comes to mind then, if we talk about impact, the first thing that we may think of is the pain that the girl child goes through in the process of FGM. And there is no doubt as well that the child would go through some sort of trauma and shock due to the way and the process, due to the way FGM is done. And there is also a high risk of infection, and because in the olden days obviously women who practice FGM do not use sterilized equipments, so the infection rate was high. Also, FGM can damage the normal tissues around the female genitalia. Some of the long-term impacts then includes chronic pain. So after FGM, women may continue to experience chronic pain for a long period of time. Some women would have chronic pelvic infection. Some may have genital ulcers. Some would also have problems with menstruation. Others would have urinary problems and even childbirth complications. So we have had cases where women had a lot of complications due to tightening of the female genitalia. So for instance, if a woman had type 3 FGM done to them, they would have had their genitalia stitched together. So when they get married, before any intimate relationships, they may have to go to a health professional to get the stitching undone, which is called de-infibulation, before any intimate relationship can occur. And also during childbirth, they may have to go through de-infibulation again, because the tightenings and the stitching have to be opened up to allow normal childbirth. So some women also may go through re-infibulation, which means they may have to be stitched again after childbirth. So thinking about all of these surgeries, procedures, and all this trauma around the female genitalia, it is obvious that FGM doesn't stop at the time of the process. So after the actual process, the aftermath of it, it's like forever, because in the teenage times the girls may have problems with periods, and when they get older to get married, they may have problems with complications in childbirth. Sometimes even infertility is reported due to FGM. So there are so many complications and so many negative consequences of FGM, and this is more reason why I am against it, and I do not wish any woman to go through all those complications. So these are some of the negative impacts of FGM. And if you're all interested in the subject, you may do a bit of research around the subject matter, and there are so many resources available on Google, so to enlighten yourselves further. So now I would want to respond to some of the questions and comments raised in the previous video. So someone wrote to me and it says, FGM has been performed for a long time now, and it hasn't affected women before. So why all of a sudden? So why now, in other words? And he believes that all of a sudden FGM has become an issue, but it has never been an issue before for women in the past. The only thing I would say to this person is that FGM has always been an issue, and it will remain an issue for women. The only difference is that in the olden days, FGM was not spoken about. because obviously we have this taboo around talking about sexuality. So obviously we don't talk about FGM. So our parents, our great grandmothers would not discuss what had happened to them in those days, because it was a taboo to talk about it. So this is why we did not know about the impacts of FGM then. But now, because we are speaking about it, people like myself are talking about it, other campaigners are raising awareness about it, it has now become an issue. And health professionals have been able to gather some information, and they have been able to relate that to FGM. So that's why we now have data, and we now can concretely argue against FGM. So it is not that it's just come up. Someone also wrote that if I was paid to do these videos, I should think twice, and I should respect my culture, and I should be careful in adopting the Western culture and Western ideology. I hear this comment a lot. It is not new to me. So many people have said this, but I will just reassure this person that I love my culture a lot, and I embrace my culture. I respect my culture. But this FGM, it's a harmful culture, and this is why I talk against it. It is not religious. It has no health benefits. It is painful, and it has so many negative health impacts on the girl child. And as a result, I cannot be pro FGM. I have to be against it. I am against it for those reasons. And I would urge you to do a little bit of research and read about FGM and have an open mind about FGM. And hopefully you too would speak up about FGM. You too would discourage your sisters and your moms and your grandmothers about FGM. So this is all I have got for you today. I hope I've been able to respond to the questions and comments. Until next time, thanks for your time.